Chapter 5, Journey of Personal Development. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. What are your words saying? Are you talking from a place of gratitude and abundance? Are you saying you have to do something? Or are you saying that you choose and get to do something? Your attitude and words can be set by you. You determine the temperature, so set your dial where you want it. When I find myself dealing with difficult bumps in the road, I ask myself, what is the worst thing that can happen right now? And if that happens, will it be the end of the world? I think about all the things that I am grateful for. The morning gratitude practice has helped me shape my attitude when I start the day. In the ever so busy world, there is always something to do that tries to come in and ruin your day. But it's how you react and deal with that shapes you and your life. Remember, today will be amazing. So wake up and put a smile on. Positivity is a choice that becomes a lifestyle. It is also contagious and can be shared with others. At a time of great happiness and joy from expecting our first child, we became aware that my husband was losing his job. The company he works for was closing. I had faith that all we need will be provided for, and we would be fine. There were other jobs and opportunities awaiting him. I stayed positive because I knew he would find something. At the same time, we had been dealing with an aging parent that we moved from another state. And just when you think that about what else can happen, something else does. Another parent became sick and was having a difficult time with finding out the cause. The sandwich generation is what many call it. Around the same time, our dog was diagnosed with cancer, and we were faced with the decision to put him down. Yet each day I'm grateful for what we do have and know that we are only given as much as we can handle, and that it's only going to make us stronger as a family. We have been blessed with our first child, and that is a miracle. There are people in the world who have a lot worse happening in their lives, and some won't be alive tomorrow. So instead of worrying about what-if scenarios, I focus on being present in today and breathe in the fresh spring air, enjoy my morning walk, drink a cup of clean water, take a hot shower, and start my day. No matter where you are on your journey, there are going to be bumps and obstacles standing in your way. So when the next one is put in front of you, how will you handle it? When your boss or coworker makes you upset, when the driver next to you on the highway cuts you off, when the waitress or waiter gets your order wrong, when you don't achieve the goal you set out for yourself to lose weight. Okay, get the point. We all know no one is perfect, and you have the choice to choose how you react. Life is a lot happier when you start loving it. I learned more about boundaries after a group boundaries class. It was based on the book Boundaries by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. It was something that taught me a lot during a very pivotal time in my life. I was engaged and getting married in the coming months. It helped in my relationship with my husband, to be with my family and friends, and even coworkers. As a people pleaser, I was coming to the realization that there were many times when I was doing more for others than I was doing for myself, and I was sabotaging my health and my life. I didn't have a good set of boundaries for myself. In one of my previous jobs, I was a sponge for information, became the go-to person on many different levels. One day I was extremely overwhelmed because I didn't have a good set of boundaries with my coworkers. I quickly had to set boundaries because others would want to pass off their work on me. It wasn't intentional on their part in most cases. I would often offer to take work off their hands. When I began setting boundaries, I had a few people that were almost upset because they were just expecting me to do all the work for them. When I explained that I was happy to help and could show them what steps to take and just how to solve the problem, they would also learn what to do when the situation surfaced again. After boundaries, I reassessed that what would work better for me when others would ask for my help. Things went much better from that point forward. I am so grateful for all that it taught me. This helped me my relationships with my family, friends, coworkers, and even clients. As we embarked on the next chapter in our lives and becoming parents, I felt a desire to revisit the teachings of this principle. It was important in our relationship as a husband and wife with our new bundle of joy and with family and friends. Our family dynamic was changing, and it was the time to explore our new boundaries. I'm a member of a Facebook group for moms. Sometimes I will see posts of members wanting advice on what to do in a particular situation because their boundaries are being crossed, or they are looking for advice and setting boundaries with family and friends. As we were working on getting pregnant, I set a boundary for myself for bedtime. I would turn my cell phone off to silent before that bedtime, so I would not be disturbed by any calls that would interfere with me getting to bed at that specific time. I would even share that time with those that I missed calls from the next day. I had a priority to get 8 hours or more of sleep and get up early to go to the gym. Thus, I set my boundary. In family relationships, I learned how to become a better communicator with my husband, my family, and his family. This was particularly useful when it was time for the holidays and deciding how to spend time with both families. Of course, there were rough conversations, but it also helped in communicating with the understanding that not everyone was going to be on the same page all the time. I also learned not to take everything personal when someone got upset. Often, they were dealing with their own issues and situations. I could only decide how I was going to react or handle the conversation. They all had their own boundaries too, so it was important for me to accept and understand and respect that. That took some practice and work on my part too. Boundaries are important in everyday life. In my business, I find we have to set boundaries with clients as well. Often people with different expectations from the way they have worked with other professionals in the past. It's important to have upfront contracts or mutual understanding with any of them. For example, if a client is rude or disrespectful to myself or others, and it's important to let them know up front that is not acceptable behavior and that work-life balance is important to us. Often the client may not realize that they were even out of line, but will help set the groundwork for how the relationship should go going forward. I realized that not having boundaries could cause many negative emotions. It caused anger, resentment, being overwhelmed, stress, and much more. It can have an effect on your health and your quality of life. Take a moment and look at each aspect of your life, from your personal, your work, career, family, and other relationships. Reflect on where you could set boundaries and where you may be overstepping other people's boundaries. My personal growth journey has been amazing. I am reading more books now than I ever have in my life. Before, reading wasn't something that I did for enjoyment, but now it is. While on vacation, I started reading The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, in which he shared the idea of reading at least 10 pages every day. I used to think that I didn't have time to read. That was a reasonable daily commitment. Now, I have read and listened to more books than I would have ever thought I had. It's all about making a commitment and taking action.